Today, I will be bringing you the curious case of Mary Toft. Okay, so this is an article that was brought to our attention in August of 2009, but Mary Toft
This
was
article
from
was written in 2009?
Yes.
What's the source?
GLA.ac.uk.
Okay.
Special collections.
.uk. So
Part of the Library and University Services.
Okay.
Go look it up. Okay? So this story is from 1726.
Dang.
Okay?
This story happened in 1726.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, in September of 1726, news reached the court of King George I of the alleged birth of several rabbits to Mary Toft. Great. So, Toft was a 25-year-old illiterate servant married to Joshua Toft, a journeyman clothier. I don't know what that is. Okay. So, according to reports, which... What
How
reports?
do they know this?
Just
Okay, we're just letting
There's-
her go.
okay.
We got
There's
it.
reports.
There's reports. Yes. Okay.
Yes, from accredited sources.
Sources apparently.
Okay.
We're just letting her go.
Yeah.
Yes. According to reports, despite having a miscarriage just a month earlier in August of 1726, Mary
No, I
had
don't believe
still
it.
appeared to be pregnant. So on September 27th, she went into labor and was attended initially by her neighbor, Mary Gill. I love how they have their names.
Yeah,
All
what?
Marys,
That's
too.
crazy. Yes. And
okay, now I don't believe
then,
it. Yeah, Marys were in league.
and then her mother-in-law, Anne
Oh,
Toft.
no.
Okay, the mother-in-law. So you know she's ready for a boy. She
Yeah,
gave birth to
back
something resembling a liverless cat. Liverless cat. That's an interesting term. Okay. The family decided to call on the help of John Howard. He visited Mary the next day where he was presented with more animal parts, which Anne Toft said she had taken from Mary during the night. So the mother-in-law took these
I don't believe it.
animal parts
believe it.
from Mary during the night. The following day, Howard returned and helped deliver yet more animal parts. Over the next month,
Maybe she was just pregnant with triplets.
But animal parts?
No. I don't know if I believe the animal part.
Oh, okay.
part.
Also,
Over-
she had a miscarriage the month before.
Yeah. So, okay.
Keep going.
Okay, I don't believe it.
over the next month, Howard
I'm gullible, but not that
recorded
gullible.
that she began producing a rabbit's head, the legs of a cat, and in a single day, 9 dead baby rabbits.
I don't believe you. I don't believe it.
Okay.
No.
Howard sent letters to some of England's greatest doctors and scientists
Yes.
and the king's secretary, informing them of the miraculous births.
But they were dead.
Yes. But rabbits being birthed from a woman and continuously over the next month.
No, I don't believe
It's
it.
going on
She's
for
like
months.
hatching eggs.
Stop.
Okay,
It's not Easter, it's Halloween. Spooky.
Sorry.
Okay,
Alright, you're
wait.
right. She's like witchcrafting.
Hold on though, because sometimes they'll pull like weird things from people's bodies.
Yeah,
you know,
like
that
a
have-
baby or a sack from after the after. What do they pull from people's bodies? A pimple?
No, like haven't you heard? Like I don't know. I don't have any recent.
But you're
Examples, but you
like-
think you've heard of something.
Yeah.
Well, you're hearing this now.
Yeah.
So, the curious king dispatched.
Yeah. Wait, you believe it?
no,
Oh.
no. Like, hold on. Let me pop out a rabbit. Okay, I'm good.
Several rabbits.
No, because
9.
over a month, that's like she can't pop out 9 in a day. So she popped out 1, and a week later popped out a couple.
And a cat's leg.
What is happening?
A rabbit's
Okay.
head, the legs, multiple,
Multiple.
of a cat.
Did her
Okay, keep
mother-in-law
going.
put them up in her?
The curious king dispatched 2 men to investigate to see what they could find out about the case. People's names. Boo. By now, news had spread, and Mary was a local celebrity.
Yeah. See, I don't believe it.
No.
I believe it was all like a scam.
Yeah.
1700s. We have
Oh.
no one alive to this day that could corroborate this story.
Yeah.
You know,
On
like-
November 15th, these people arrived at Howard's home and were immediately greeted with the news that Mary was in labor with her 15th rabbit.
Now we're up to 15. We were at 9. So they're putting all these body parts together and counting it?
Toft gave birth to several more dead rabbits in their presence. These are like people from the king. So they wanted to see.
Yeah, but
And she gave birth in
here's
front of them.
here's what I.
Two more
when was this
rabbits.
article posted in 2009?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is in the
We're-
history books. There's pictures.
I don't. They're
It's
like
history.
drawn pictures. Anyone can draw a picture
This
of. I don't believe it for a second. I think somebody made this crap up.
Yeah.
okay.
And now she's was.
She was famous.
I don't believe any of that. Have you ever heard of that ever happening to anybody else? How is she the one person that had baby
Maybe she's
rabbits?
Maybe she's a witch.
Okay, it says the doctors conducted examinations on the lungs and other internal organs of these rabbits, the results of which showed that they probably did not develop inside Mary's womb. However, still seemed convinced that her case was genuine.
So they shoved dead baby rabbits up her vagina.
He believed that these were indeed supernatural births
How do they know?
and took some of the
She was
rabbit
just
specimens back to London to show the
labor.
king. Well, the
No.
king's interested now, so you're on a ride with the king. Okay, back in the day, they cut off your head. Okay. As the story of Mary quickly spread through London, the king decided to send a German surgeon and his friend to the town where they lived to investigate the matters further. He examined Mary and witnessed several of her rabbit births. So she's continuing to give birth to these rabbits.
What's
So
the
they-
number up to now? Because we were just at 15.
I don't even know.
Okay.
No. Okay, picture this. Shove a baby rabbit up her hoo-ha.
Yo, she's got to be dilated pretty far because a baby rabbit, a bunny, is
There's
pretty big. But
there's
parts.
no way.
'Kay.
Parts. Good. There's just the head.
He witnessed several of her births. However, he was not convinced.
Yeah, I'm not.
On
gonna give
examination of the rabbit parts he had taken back to London, he found that the dung pellets in the rectum of one of the rabbits contained corn, hay, and straw,
So she's literally shoving.
which proved that it could not be developed inside Mary. He reported back to the king on November 21st that he suspected a hoax with Mary Toft and John Howard in conclusion and showed these rabbit specimens as evidence.
Okay, first off, so they were shoving these rabbits up her hoo-ha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, also, I bet she died from a disease, because that's disgusting.
Yeah. Rabies.
Holy crap.
Also,
Okay.
do you
For
think
what?
she kept shoving the same rabbit up?
Probably.
Because
Or-
how do you get up to over 15?
This story's not
Oh,
done.
okay. Well, I'm convinced. it's a
Meanwhile-
hoax. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
An eminent doctor and midwife among upper class society in London was contacted to attend upon Mary Toft after observing her and seeing her give birth to what he believed was a hog's bladder.
What is happening? They're just taking anything on the farm.
He also seemed unconvinced.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine why.
But he was persuaded to keep his doubts to himself by Howard until there was proof of any fraud. Howard
I don't like Howard.
and Saint Andre were trying to save the reputations in the light of what Allers had concluded. Okay, that's the doctor. The story came to the attention of the press and caused, that's what I think all these illustrations are, was from them printing the press. Okay. And caused a national sensation.
Huh.
Yep.
Okay. So she just wanted to get famous?
I literally, if I heard that, I would go next.
Yeah.
It said, it
I'm
is
not
not
intrigued,
hard
like-
to see why a poor family like the Tofts saw a way to make money with what seems at first a ridiculous scheme.
Wait, so
Hold on.
thought of this is what I want to know. Like, she loses her baby,
Uh-huh.
she miscarries, and then she's like, you know what? Let's pretend I'm still pregnant and shove rabbits up my vagina for attention and money.
I mean, her vagina.
Yeah.
I guess if she miscarried naturally, it's
Rabbits are
dilated
small.
and
This
that-
the
yeah.
story is still going.
Oh my god, I'm
I
over
can't- I
it.
know.
I'm next.
It is wild.
I'm done.
So her explanation
it.
of her strange
Yeah.
births, strange births,
Yeah.
was that in April of 1726 she had been working in a field and was startled by a rabbit. She knew the woman ran after it, couldn't catch it. Then she started dreaming of rabbits, and she had a strange or strong desire to eat rabbits, but being very poor, they couldn't produce any.
What is happening? That's so creepy.
Yeah.
So she thought she could shove dead rabbits up her hoo-ha and produce live ones so they could eat them.
So it said,
We're trying. We're really trying to follow this.
I'm not. Leela is. I'm not. I don't
I-
believe it for a second.
but here's the thing. Can you think about it? Back in the day,
Yeah.
if you
I'm
were,
there.
yes, if you were a doctor that came across a strange phenomenon and you're like, this is my big break.
Yeah.
I'm going to discover something to be written in the history books for forever, because that's all they had back then.
So what do you think that the original doctor at first was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then found out that it was a scam, but continued to go along with it because he had sent all these letters.
And he was already making money.
He
off it.
was-
He was probably getting a lot of patients too.
So by the
His hands
time,
went up a lady's
No.
bunny vagina.
No. They weren't all even alive.
so,
None
but
of them were alive.
And she had corn in her vagina.
And hey,
see, because
Maybe the hog's belly
Bladder?
thing was where
Bladder.
she...
bladder.
Bladder? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe that's where they shoved the rabbits and then they shoved the bladder up because that was her womb.
Oh my.
that's insane. It
I
says
know.
between the 30th of November and the 3rd of December, the opinion was still divided among the medical men gathered there. They
So
still had
some thought it
Some were-
was real, and then some thought
yes,
it was a scam.
and it
Some
said,
wanted to make money.
yeah,
Some were
Mary
Some were like, this
Yeah.
isn't gonna go
produced
anywhere.
no more new rabbits, but continued to appear to go into labor. She was
because
also
she didn't have
bad.
time to shove them up her hoo-ha.
Mm.
She was also badly infected
Oh,
and had fits, which
my!
made her lose consciousness.
Yes. Did she die? I can imagine.
It was
She-
1726.
No, I
but-
mean like died from the infection because there's
Natural causes of giving birth to...
to rabbits and pigs' bladders. It just doesn't make sense.
and
Like,
cat
none of
parts. Wasn't there cat parts in
that-
there?
Yeah, legs, cat legs. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
Like,
Who's also killing all these?
it was
Listen.
probably the same.
Shortly thereafter, a porter at Mr. Lacey's, I don't know who that was caught trying to sneak a rabbit into Mary Toph's room. He confessed
Can
to
we not just say it as it is?
he confessed to
hoax.
Douglas and Menningham that Margaret Toft, Mary's sister-in-law, so it's a whole family
Oh yeah, no,
scheme.
it's a family
Yeah.
affair.
Yeah, had asked him to procure the smallest rabbit he could find,
Yep.
but
It's a-
they couldn't get her to confess.
This is just like a guilty pleasure. Maybe
No.
the man likes shoving rabbits up her vagina.
No.
So they took Mary into custody
No.
for questioning, but she wouldn't admit anything.
Yeah, because why would she admit it? Okay, yeah, I believe it. They were showing them up her
Oh,
hoo-ha.
so she didn't. They were just, conducting an interview, and she wouldn't admit anything. But then over the next 2 days, more pressure was put on her to confess, and one of the doctors threatened to perform painful surgery, experimental surgery on her to see if she was formed
Indeed.
differently from
Yeah.
other women. And then Toff fully admitted on the 7th of December, 1726, that
I
she
mean,
had
what? Say it.
that she had manually inserted dead rabbits into her vagina and then allowed them to be removed as if she was giving birth.
Gosh, are you kidding me? Maybe it is like a not a. It's not pleasure. It's
no,
like
it's
a
like a
fetish.
yeah.
Like a.
No, I think they were just trying to get rich. Because the circus, when was what's his name's circus?
Whose circus?
With all of the
Adam.
like strange anomaly
Like that.
humans.
Yeah.
It started with a B. The dude, his circus.
I can't remember.
But I don't know when that started, but
you think it was around the same time? It probably isn't. Check our facts.
I know
What's strange? What would we call it?
the oldest circus. Brahmers
Nope.
something. But you know, like if you're a unusual or weird person and people would pay to see these weird things.
Yeah, that's true. How did you find this?
Gosh, I got something. in my throat.
Googling historical stories.
With strange things.
Barnum
Oh,
circus.
How did you find that so fast?
God, you're the worst. Oh no, 1870. So maybe
it
she was
wasn't-
trying to be the first fad. To
or
make
maybe,
But
okay.
no.
Hold on. Maybe, okay, I'm thinking fetish, right? But then I'm like, well, she actually had a miscarriage.
oh maybe it was a way to
Maybe
cope.
It's a way to cope. So someone just.
But no, who's out here saying, yes, give me a small rabbit. I'm going to shove it up my hoo-ha and give birth to it. Like who? What?
Mary Toft.
Mary
Ah,
Toft.
Mary Toft.
Golly,
Can you
bless-
believe that? I read
okay,
it and I was like,
we
I
knew from the start.
No, yeah.
I
we
called
knew.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
well,
I called
I
it.
know, but I wanted to read.
Yeah.
She got the king involved.
Yeah, good for her.
Make a name for herself.
Committed.
She was
Her vagina
committed.
committed.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
Her vagina let anything in.
dude,
it's
and
just
the,
gross.
the amount of disease.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
that
Back
she
then,
had.
Back
in the
then,
1700s, oh my
especially.
gosh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
that
Although
she now had,
they
but-
were made of sterner stuff.
Yeah, they were. They had
So-
more immune,
Yeah.
Immunity,
like 100%.
better immune
but-
systems. There we go. Ooh,
Yeah,
well, Hannah,
crazy
thank you so much
story
for
for the
that.
day. Spooky Halloween
I don't,
season.
I don't know if it's spooky.
It's
I would say
it's
that
weird
it's creepy.
Weird.
because also back in the day they had a lot was around witchcraft and
Mhm.
unusual things happening and all that. So I can see
Yep.
why it would be such a phenomenon.
Yeah, well, she's trying to make a name for herself. She
I
sure
know.
did.
Yeah.
She's in the history books now.
Guys, if you want to hear more about weird Mary Tofts, let us know. We'll
Or don't.
we'll find the crazy things to bring to you.
Yep.
Every
On
Monday
our
and
next-
Thursday.
yeah.
So tune in,
Yes.
like, comment, subscribe.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and we'll see you next time.
Sure will. Bye.